How's it shaking, everyone? It's Andy from MAO Magic, and today I have the remote loop. This is basically just a little attachment for the Siri remote or the Apple TV remote, depending on which country you're located in and whether or not Siri is available. It does not come in white, even though the back of the packaging kind of shows it as white. That's basically just a little diagram to show how this will install and highlighting the part that you're actually buying. So you're not buying the remote for $12, $13. You're just buying this simple little loop. Now, while this is not 100% necessary if you have one of the new Apple TVs, I have found this to be very nice. And while this is a first-party solution from Apple itself, there are obviously going to be many other options from third-party vendors coming out in the future. So you can keep an eye for those. There are already little cases to put the Apple TV remote in. But if you just want something simple, bare bones, and this is actually one of the cheaper options coming in at $12 or $13 as a way to keep your remote safe from dropping it or from crashing into your TV if you're trying to play some like bowling games. Now, there really isn't a lot to see. Basically, you just have these two rather large clips extending from the sides that can be retracted by depressing on two buttons on the side of the connector. This all will be inserted into the lightning port on the bottom of the new Apple TV remote. You have a little adjusting loop here, which can adjust it for wrist sizes. And other than that is a fairly standard material. This is basically the same material that Apple used on the loops that were included with the iPod Touch. Those are been discontinued, but this is a little bit thicker version of that. So if you've ever tried one of those, this is a thicker, little bit higher end version of that, but very same material. Everything about it is very sturdy. It holds in very well, and it's not really going to be going anywhere. Now, this is going to be very useful not only for games and with children from them maybe throwing it into your TV inadvertently, but this is also maybe useful for just the fact that the new remote has that glass top on it. So if iPhones are any example, this could probably break very easily if you dropped it onto a hardwood floor. Now, that aside, I've also found it very useful for storing the remote. So instead of just throwing this on a table or in a couch, where this, just like the last generation, can very easily get lost, and even though this new model costs like $70 to replace, you don't want that. So I have found it's very useful to actually hang this up. So I can hang it right here on the side of my table using one of those moss organizers or from a little pin in the wall, basically just anywhere to store it. And it's a lot easier and keeps it kind of safe, and I don't have to worry about it. The link is in the description below if you are interested, and to help you make up your decision, as always, we will break it down between the pros and the cons for the simple little loop. First off, it will protect your remote or your TV, not completely or 100% or any guarantee there, but it will do a better job than simply the remote itself. It is aluminum, so it could be a little bit slippery if you're playing in those high velocity games where you're flailing about. It matches, obviously, the design of the Apple TV and Apple TV remote, coming in that nice, stunning black color. It is resizable, so it should fit any wrist from any tiny little children to full-size adults, and it uses that lightning port so it doesn't have to wrap around the whole device to protect it. It can simply plug in to the port that's already there. As for the cons on the little loop, it should be included. Really, do we need to pay $12 or $13 for a simple loop that was included with the iPod Touch and when new remotes cost like $70? So I do wish it was just packed in with the box. While it is attached, you cannot charge it while that's attached, so if it is connected on there, you have to actually take it off to charge. However, you don't have to charge your remote for maybe 6 months or so, or at least several months, so it's probably not that big of a problem. And there are most definitely going to be third-party options. However, some of the other options have been much more expensive, maybe $24 to $30 for any of those other Apple TV remote protections, the ones that have gotten to the market first. Regardless of what you think, the link is in the description below. Please subscribe so I can keep even silly videos like this coming. If there are any other questions I didn't cover, throw them up in the comments. Otherwise, I'll see you next time.